Truth you have. I am doing a continuation on my first free will video. Please watch it. I do pinpoint some things that are important, and therefore I have this video that I'm doing to add on to the notion that we have free will. I'm going to give you some examples of how we can have a temporary free will, and it has to do with our thought processes. I spoke before about the thoughts that we have, and they're important. If you realize that if you have a certain thought and that thought is multiplied because other people are having that same thought simultaneously as you, then there is a force in the direction of whatever that thought is that could be powerful. And this matrix has been predicated upon a process that is a continue out of chaos comes order thought process. A lot of the industries, the work industries that people get into prove this. Let's say we changed the thought process of the police, the armed people that are there to protect us. And we do appreciate them. Well, let's change what they do for a living. These are the thought processes that I'm presenting that we should have, instead of having a thought process of what they've been feeding us on TV and on the computer and phone screens. The violence that comes with being a police officer, having to pull out a gun or stun someone, or having any type of violence to do with their profession. The thought process to change the matrix is not so difficult as some think, but it is a thought process. And instead of thinking that the police officers should be called because of violence, let's think about how the police officers can interact with the elderly and help them, go to the grocery store for them. If someone is not capable of doing something, or even if they are capable, if they're elderly, to have that extra help, I'm sure would be beneficial. If that's what one of the jobs was for a police officer to do, that police officer would not be under a job based on fear, number one. Number two, they would be able to live a different kind of life. They would be attracting different things to them. They wouldn't be in a mind frame while they're at work that is based upon a continuous thought process of they may get a detrimental phone call. And these things are very awakening thoughts. These are thoughts that most people don't even think about having. But if you think about the flow of peace that can exude from your mind and how it does affect the vicinity that you are in with a mind frame of peace, and this has been proven, then you know that you can think in a different way. If you know that you can have peaceful thoughts and elevate the community on a peaceful level, then you know that you can have thoughts that can change the way the world looks at certain positions. And this is the flow of the thought process for enlightenment and encouraging people. This is the thought process of not allowing yourself to be taken aback by certain spells. And to believe that you do have free will is to take action with your thought processes, with the belief in yourselves. The temporary free will is necessary because you know from my last video that free will on a regular basis is something that we don't really have all the way, but we're made to think that we have free will. Peace and love.